helping you know how to prepare for a networking event. In this video, I'll help you answer the question, do you make this huge mistake when prepping for a networking event? Then I'll share the number one thing you should do before every networking event. And lastly, I'll reveal the secret to preparing for a networking event that will gain you connections every single time. And on top of that, I have a killer strategy I want to share with you about how to prepare for a networking event to guarantee you have meaningful conversations, but only if you stick around until the very end. Okay, so let's get into it. Do you make this huge mistake when prepping for a networking event? Setting a goal of how many leads, sales, job offers, or business cards you will get. See, in traditional networking or transactional networking, it is common to say 30-second commercials or sales pitches during the event. But if your only focus is to achieve a specific transactional goal, you miss the opportunity to connect because the only thing you are focused on is you and what you need. In traditional networking, you will attract more opportunities and leads if you focus on the person you are speaking to and less on the transaction you need. In relational networking, transactions are often not allowed because the focus is to have conversations to build relationships. So walking into a relational networking event focused on you and what you need to achieve, that's like being a bull in a china shop. Only the china you break is your reputational capital with anyone you bowled over. When I first started networking, I made this huge mistake over and over again because I thought networking was about selling. So I set sales and leads goals for each event I went to. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't connecting with anyone and why everyone seemed to be avoiding me and not including me in their group conversations. Moreover, I wasn't getting any leads or sales. It wasn't until a very wise and kind woman at an event I was attending gave me a few suggestions to get the most out of my time. It was only then that I realized the error of my ways and upgraded how I showed up at future events. I stopped setting a sales or lead goal for each event and shifted my focus from me to the people in the room, one conversation at a time. To my surprise, I attracted more opportunities and relationships, and my reputational capital soared. So, do you make this huge mistake like I did about setting a sales or lead goal before attending a networking event? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your answers. Judgment free, of course. Now let's talk about the number one thing you should do before every networking event. Prepare to listen. All too often we are focused on what we need to say. Though it is true, if you're attending a traditional networking event, you will need to have a 30-second commercial ready to say. However, once you have that prepped, make sure you are ready to listen. If you keep focusing on what you need to say, you are not ready to listen, and you're essentially making the same mistake I just shared about setting a sales or lead goal earlier. Only your goal is to say your 30-second commercial. By being focused on what to say, you end up saying the very thing you prepared to every person you speak to. You fail to really listen to the person, so you're just being that bull in the china cabinet again. Now here in Down and Dirty Networking, one of our core values is to talk less. By talking less, you are able to actively listen. When you listen to someone, they feel seen, heard, and valued. This skyrockets your reputational capital and means you are truly connecting with those you are talking to. When preparing to attend a networking event, I find myself focusing on what to say, what to wear, what to bring, etc. These are necessary, but they all have one thing in common: me. That means my focus is 100% on me before I ever walk into or get online for a networking event. So before I actually walk in, I take a moment to shift my focus. I have a mantra that I say: help me see what needs to be seen, hear what needs to be heard, and say what needs to be said. This puts my mindset on serving the people I will talk to instead of what I want to tell them about. My mind, heart, and ears are then ready to listen. Now, before I reveal the secret to preparing for a network event that will gain you connections every time, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out videos every week to help you network more effectively like we do here in our Down and Dirty Networking community. So click subscribe to this channel and make sure to drop me a thumbs up on this video if you're finding these tips helpful. All right, so now let's get into the next one. Now I'm going to reveal the secret to preparing for a networking event that will gain you connections every single time. Craft questions. Questions allow you to learn about someone and from someone. One of my favorite questions to ask is, what is the best thing that's happened to you recently? This question is more powerful than how are you question because it requires a positive and thoughtful answer that instantly allows you to learn about a person and create a connection. Earlier I shared how talking less is a core value here in Down and Dirty Networking. Well, to talk less is actually only half the value statement. We believe it is important to talk less and question more. See, questions are a wonderful tool to start a conversation and to prevent you from over-talking, especially if they're open-ended questions. The best part is that asking questions is highly effective for both traditional networking events and relational networking events. You only need 1 to 3 questions that you can use over and over again. For example, the ending to my favorite question, what's the best thing that's happened to you, can be modified for any situation. For example, if we were just meeting, I would say, what's the best thing that's happened to you recently? If I'm reconnecting with you, I can say, what's the best thing that's happened to you since we last spoke? Or if we're at a weekly event, I would ask, what's the best thing that's happened to you this week? This one question is so versatile and never gets old. It's one of the reasons I love it so much. Now, the best place to have meaningful conversations without having to prepare what to say at the event is right here in our Down and Dirty Networking community. Click the link in the description below and I will send you a personal invitation to the next Down and Dirty Networking sneak peek event. The Down and Dirty Networking online community is based 100% on relational networking, committed to co-elevate, collaborate, and connect to have meaningful conversations and build lasting relationships with people from all professions and industries. You do not have to weed through all of the traditional networking 30-second commercials and sales pitches. We cut the fluff for you and provide a fun format that guarantees you will have meaningful conversations at every event. So click the link in the description below to get your personal invitation to network with our diverse professionals from all industries in a safe, no-muss environment that is innovative and fun. I look forward to seeing you at the sneak peek event. Thanks for watching and happy networking.